Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce, and it's time for a little NBA basketball. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be Pau Gasol and the LA Lakers up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. And now off to AT&T Center with our crew of Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who are ready to call the game.
It's the Lakers in a Western Conference matchup. We are live at the AT&T Center. Welcome to San Antonio for this Spurs home game. Very excited to bring you this edition of our NBA broadcast here on 2K Sports. Clark, Doris, and Steve are with me. This is Kevin Harlan, and welcome to our broadcast of the NBA. And now the Lakers starting group. Kobe and Artest are the wingmen. Pau Gasol is out there with Odom, and it's Fisher in at the point guard position. And for San Antonio, McDyess and Duncan, they're inside. Manu and Jefferson on the wings. And it's Parker in at the point. Ginobili against Kobe. Ginobili battles through traffic and lays it in. Ginobili's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Spurs.
Well, such a disciplined team, the Spurs. And the core of their defensive plan is to force contested jump shots. No layups, no free throws. They just want teams to have to shoot from the outside.
And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
No surprise, guys. He said, we hang our... hat on our defense, and we're going to do that again tonight. That's what wins us ball games, our ability to set the tone through defense. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Doris. So it's mainly Clark and Steve about defense for them early on.
Well, you know what I mean. It's pretty simple. The fewer points you allow, the fewer you have to score for yourself. I mean, that's elementary.
Yeah, and particularly in this game, I think it makes sense. I mean, establish the defensive end of the floor, try to convert some buckets in transition off your defense, and try to take control of the game that way.
You talked about the Spurs forcing contested shots, Steve, from outside. One key, Clark, they didn't foul.
Yeah, and that's one of the keys to being able to, one, play effective defense, but also to be able to get into transition, because when you're not fouling, the real rhythm and pace of the game has a way of finding its own level, and the Spurs very good at that. They challenge shots without fouling, but it also allowed them to be able to play this up-tempo game they wanted to play, too.
One of the great stories is last offseason, Popovich got his staff together. They took a lot of views of their own play from the year before. They looked at a lot of European tape, and they just thought, we got to play more of a European style. They didn't want the game to stop. Like you said, they want the game to continue to go and get in that rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. Big part of their success.
Splitter is checked in for Antonio McDyess. The Lakers also with a sub. Matt Barnes is checked in for Ron Artest. Here's Ginobili. Duncan down low, covered by Barnes. Here's Parker. Shot is blocked. And the Lakers have possession. And here is Odom. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Duncan. Jumps up. And slammed down hard. Another look on the Sprite Slam King.
Come on now, I didn't see. Can you believe that? Boy, a little bit of flair and flavor at the end of it.
Oh, that'll be a fan favorite, all right.
That was not your average typical dunk.
Well, I tell you, I mean, you have Powell and Kobe on the Lakers, but when you talk about the pop culture, notoriety, that probably belongs to Lamar Odom, #1 in that category because of his reality TV presence. He's added an additional Hollywood flair to his role on the roster.
Here's Parker. Ginobili left side. Picked up by Kobe. Here's Splitter. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Well, Clark back to Odom. I don't like talking about this stuff. It only seems natural,
I know
of
it's
course.
tough. I know it's tough.
You know, it seems natural, though, to have, I guess, what, a Laker in Los Angeles, be on a reality TV show for some reason. You know, the second choice, if it wasn't Lamar, would have been Steve Kerr. Right, Steve?
Kevin, I think the story of my life and my daily existence would be fascinating for viewers. I think we'd see probably a viewership of at least 11, maybe 12 people, all family members.
And that one's good from Fisher. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Clock at 6. Fisher is whistled for reaching in. That's his first foul. And the Spurs with some changes. DeJuan Blair, he's checked in for Splitter. McDyess comes in for Richard Jefferson. And Gary Neal subbed in for Tony Parker. Shannon Brown, he's checked in for the Lakers. Blake comes in for Derek Fisher. Here's Neal, lifts up. Rebounded by the Lakers.
Well, one of the things that has made the Lakers so good is their depth and their balance. In fact, last year, defensively, they had the 5th lowest field goal percentage defense in the league, under 44% for their opponents.
There are 2 guys thinking alike. Perfect pass and perfect catch. Well done both ways.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And for the Lakers, Clark, that big front court, a big part why they're so tough defensively. Steve just said a percentage defensively under 44%.
Well, length is hard to score over. I mean, they've got some tough defenders up and down the roster, really, and they play a physical style. I mean, you think about a guy like Matt Barnes, Ron Artest. Kobe is a killer defensively when he's locked in. And then they're all experienced, too. I mean, that adds to that defensive prowess as well.
Looking to end the run. Jump shot is good. McDyess has got his first 2 points. Here's Ratliff. Shot from the wing. Good. And the assist goes to Blake.
That's now 7 straight for them coming from fast breaks.
Just making it look easy out there the way they're running.
That's good. Ginobili's got 5 points so far.
So tough for the defense to get out to the three-point line in transition.
Good luck. And Shannon Brown, the bucket on the assist by Blake.
And the transition defense now, guys, non-existent, invisible.
3 straight fast break hoops. I mean, the D has been sleepwalking.
And taken away by Brown.
That's just a sloppy pass, a lack of focus there.
He gets it up. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Lakers on top, up by 5.
And they've done a nice job here offensively to establish a rhythm and a pace to this game.
And I like that they're finding ways to score, playing well here, Steve.
And it's more NBA action coming your way here on 2K Sports. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Here's Blake.
Well, Mike Brown, a part of the Greg Popovich coaching tree. In fact, I played for him in San Antonio in 2003 when he was an assistant. Excellent coach, really a guy who will emphasize the defensive end of the floor. That's his forte.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for the Lakers right now, Artest and Powell in the forward slots. Round out there with Steve Blake, and it's Bynum in at the 5 spot. Here's Jefferson after the made shot from Shannon Brown. And another basket for San Antonio. Steve, good point about Mike Brown. You know, Clark, his familiarity with the Western Conference and some of the big teams in that conference, I'm sure a big reason why the Lakers got him.
Well, I think all around he's just an outstanding coach. I mean, he's in his prime. He's a young relatively young coach who's had tremendous experience. So his record is very impressive. His demeanor and personality and philosophy, I think, is really solid. It helps that he was coaching LeBron, but make no mistake, you just don't stumble into what he's been able to do as far as wins go. I mean, he's won almost 2/3 of his games as an NBA head coach, and that list is short when you start looking at the resumes of head coaches to have won 2/3 of the games you've coached in.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Kevin, one of the most consistently successful franchises over the years has been the San Antonio Spurs, and all of the people associated with the organization believe that respect is a big part of the Spurs' success. Coach Greg Popovich's view on the matter? Well, this is what he said. Teams that get along, that respect each other, that enjoy being around each other, probably react better on the court. They don't have to be best buddies, but if they can respect each other and enjoy each other's time away from the court, I think that aids them once the game starts. Given that a lot of organizations try to model themselves after the Spurs, sounds like a good philosophy.
Thanks, Doris.
Well, and you can see it out there. I mean, these players all respect each other so well, and that's why they've had such a great run here in San Antonio for so long. A great respect for each other and for their coach. You know, it's interesting with the Spurs how good they've been. They just don't get a lot of attention. The games don't always draw in big TV ratings, but year after year, they seem to just fly under the radar.
Jefferson passing to McDyess. Defended by Gasol. Shoots from 12, and it's San Antonio with another. So, Clark, when you look at the Spurs, why is it, do you think, that they haven't captured the imagination of some fans?
Well, I mean, most casual fans and even some of the more ardent, rabid fans are more intrigued and excited by much more flash. And
I'm talking nationally now, not locally, but nationally.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. So that's what I'm saying, that those folks tend to get hung up and enamored with the highlights and the real high-profile type stars, and quite honestly, it just doesn't sell as much across the country. But for those of us who enjoy basketball, know basketball, appreciate all the work that goes into it, they are a model franchise and one of the outstanding sports franchises in all the sports, in my opinion.
Well said. And the Spurs with some changes. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Blair. Splitter comes in for Antonio McDyess. And it's Ginobili in for Gary Neal. And then for the Lakers, Lamar Odom is checked in for Bynum. Kobe comes in for Shannon Brown. And Derek Fisher is subbed in for Steve Blake. Odom, the pump fake, kept the D off balance and gave him room.
Beautiful possession. They found the open man. What a year Lamar Odom had last season for the Lakers. At times starting, but also coming off the bench when Andrew Bynum was healthy. But he had a terrific year shooting the ball, about 53% from the floor and almost 40% from the three-point line.
All right, man. One more time. Keep it going for your silver dancer.
Here's Duncan. Straight up. It's Ginobili outside. And again, it's the Spurs from deep. Just talking about Odom. 40% from deep is out of this world for a guy his size.
I love Lamar's versatility, Kevin. I mean, and adding that three-point shot, being more efficient from out there, just helps him be more effective as an all-around player.
.112 left in the first half. Backing down is Bryant. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That one on Ginobili.
I think you. Wanted some one-on-one time with the rim. He wasn't letting that thing go.
No, a little pose up there hanging on the rim, just kind of showing off a little bit, Clark. Kobe Bryant now in his 16th.
And he puts it down with authority. Strikes and can for another angle.
Well, he took that one to the rack with some purpose.
I'll say beautiful dunk there, Steve.
Yeah, how about the agility? Just the power and the skill. Impressive.
Out of bounds. They'll keep possession. Knocked away. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. Here's Kobe. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Fisher. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Parker.
Now, I'll tell you what, guys. Derek Fisher has had a lot on his plate the last couple of years. He's the president of the NBA Players Association. Not only was he trying to lead his team to a championship, but he's been trying to fix these labor issues as well.
You guys talk about Derek Fisher. What a professional.
Kevin, this guy basically made the most of his natural abilities. Never a premier athlete. Always in great shape, though. Always plays hard, plays smart. And he seems to be able to knock down big threes at the most important times. He's done that throughout his career and goes back to when he and Kobe joined the Lakers as rookies.
Absolutely.
Spent a lot of time riding the bus together in the gym before and after practice, and he just worked, and now he's got multiple rings.
They've both, he and Kobe both have won the 5 rings. Yeah, they're really hooked at the hip, huh?
That's right.
And the Spurs making a change here. 2 shots. So he gets them both. 19 seconds left to play here in the half. Odom backing down. That's good, and it's Kobe with the assist. Odom's got 4 points now in the quarter. And here comes Tony Parker. With 2 seconds left, and the dunk by McDyess.
That's just a monster throwdown right there, guys. He must be working on his high wire act there, Kevin.
I'd say so, Clark.
It's paying off for him. That was a fantastic move.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play.
Well, how about Kobe in this one? He has 11 points, a couple of nice steals, too. That's the first half he can be proud of.
And he carried a lot of momentum into the locker room with him.
Lakers lead by 6.
Hope you're enjoying your Friday. Let's get you to the HP halftime report. The Lakers playing with poise so far. Close-range shots, their bread and butter early on, a gigantic lead in points in the paint. Kobe's tearing it up against San Antonio. He has 11 points and has contributed with the assists as well. And on the other side, San Antonio just keeps scrapping. They're gunning from distance. The three-pointer's been their prime weapon. A tremendous first half for Manu Ginobili. He has 11 points and has picked up a few steals, rounding out his box score. These two have been the stars so far today, both leading their teams in scoring. And back to AT&T Center we go. The third quarter just about to start.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Here's Kobe.
Well, the Lakers had another good regular season a year ago, and they were tough against the Western Conference opponents. They went 36-16 in their conference.
Jefferson and McDyess make up the forwards. Parker and Manu are the backcourt, and it's Duncan in at the 5, roaming the paint. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Fisher dishes to Odom. Jefferson picks him up. They're moving the ball. Artest on the wing. He's covered by McDyess. It's stolen by Jefferson.
Well, he's being overly optimistic there, thinking he can make that pass.
Good! Jefferson's got 6. Plenty of tough teams in the West and Steve in the East, like we were talking about. But really, Clark, when you canvass the landscape of the NBA, none tougher than the Lakers.
Well, you know, they've got that confidence-building championship hardware that you can't ever overestimate. They don't fear anybody, and actually, if anything, they've been known to...
And Kobe throws it down. Let's see that again on the Sprite Slam Cam.
Well, that's a dunk you will not see very often. You won't pass that one by.
No doubt about it.
I wish he would, though. You can never see too many of those.
Foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, a disappointing playoff performance last season for San Antonio. Of the big three, Manu Ginobili was the only one who managed to play well against the Grizzlies.
Going back to Ginobili, he played well in the playoffs despite that hyper-extended elbow. Steve, you remember that huge brace he wore?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't get as much attention as what Rajon Rondo went through with his elbow injury, but Ginobili showing every bit as much as toughness as Rondo. I mean, that was impressive, and he was going at Tony Allen and vice versa in that series. A very, very physical. Confrontation between those two.
Here's Parker. He's covered by Fisher. Parker. Jefferson. And it's good in the assist by Parker. Jefferson's got 9.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I mean, I don't think there's another option.
Here's Fisher. And again, it's the Lakers.
Coming out strong here in the third quarter. That's 4 for 5 shooting for this team.
Spurs trail by 7. Here's Parker. Right up. Banked in off the glass. Parker's got his second bucket.
Hot start for this club coming out of halftime. That's 3 in a row now.
Stolen by McDyess. And so here is San Antonio, trailing by 5. Jefferson, that's good. 11 points in the game.
And the pace has really ramped up in the second half.
Steve, I like the re-energized effort here. I mean, it's been a battle. He's got so many ways to hurt you. I mean, he is really an offensive force out there.
Easy shot, and it's San Antonio with another.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots. Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
Here's Parker. He has 6. San Antonio calls timeout.
You know, guys, the Spurs played great basketball against their Western Conference foes. I mean, they went 38-14 against the West.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Splitter comes in for Antonio McDyess. And Gary Neal subbed in for Richard Jefferson. The Lakers also changing it up. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Gasol. Barnes comes in for Ron Artest. And it's Brown in for Derek Fisher. Out to Parker, picked up by Brown. Parker kicks to Ginobili. They're moving the ball. Gets it to go. Steve, when you look at the Spurs' regular season dominance a season ago, what was the key in your mind?
I thought it was Greg Popovich's style. I mean, he decided to go away from that traditional inside-out game. They got much faster as a team. They played a higher pace. And Pop knew they had to take advantage of their scoring and to cover up for the fact that they're no longer one of the most talented teams in the NBA.
And it's sent back by Bynum. Lakers leading by 4. Now here's Barnes. Oh, and a nice defensive play to interrupt the alley-oop. Now Parker, picked up by Brown. That's tipped. Goes up the baseline, and the Spurs scoring again.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Now, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score. He had a really good first half, guys, but since that time, he's struggling to take care of the ball.
That's really a terrific look inside, Kevin. I mean, he set him up beautifully.
He's picked up by Parker. He kicks to Barnes.
So a couple of poor possessions now in a row consecutively. Both times turnover. That's not productive basketball. That's not winning basketball.
No, Clark, you know, you start stringing errors back-to-back together, you lose all momentum in this game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. DeJuan Blair. He's checked in for Duncan. McDyess comes in for Splitter. And it's Jefferson in for Manu Ginobili. For the lead, gets it to go. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Here's Parker. Feeds to Brown. Launches a 3. Good. And the assist goes to Blake. Blake's got 6 assists in the game.
Well, then his teammates love one when he's distributing the ball perfectly.
He keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, so far in this one, he's played a different role than normal, but he's done a nice job as his team's playmaker here today.
And all of it's worked for the most part. I mean, he might not be known as a dime dropper, but after this game, he will be.
Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And now let's send it to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. And today, it's the Los Angeles Lakers who grabbed the Sprite Spark. There have been no missteps along the way, and they have shown great heart and hustle so far. It's been a big factor as to why they're in the position to win this thing. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. Taking a look at the Lakers. Artest gets Solon Bynum on the front court. Steve Blake and Kobe Bryant in the back court.
They have been so disruptive defensively. A lot of team speed out there.
He's got to push it. Lakers leading by 4. Lays out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. Here's Neal. Blake with the steal. Lays it in off the breakaway. Blake's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Lakers. Neal passes to Jefferson. The feed now to Blake. Gasol covering. Knocks it loose.
Well, as a coach, that kind of turnover just drives you nuts.
And that's because it should never happen, Steve. I mean, it just shouldn't.
Passes it to Neal. Tries to keep it alive. Here's Blair. And he makes good on the layup.
Another turnover, another bucket.
And you know, Steve, turnovers can really be game changers. I mean, they sap your team and then give the other team life. So it's a double-edged sword. Kobe getting it done. Just a gorgeous shot that time.
Here's Neal. Floats one up. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. They get Paul Gasol.
Well, you talk about that great front court depth for the Lakers. All that length, rebounding, their ability to really crash the glass. And they were actually the 5th best rebounding team in the NBA last year in terms of rebounding differential.
Splitters checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Manu Ginobili. And the Lakers also making a switch. Brown's checked in. Blake with it. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Jefferson. From 11 feet away. And that one's good. Parker. And Steve, you were talking about that differential. 2.5 extra possessions in their favor because of it. And Clark, for the Lakers, already a very good team offensive. That rebounding advantage. Those extra possessions, more often than not, lead to a basket.
Well, they got such tremendous size. When you look at Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, you throw in Lamar Odom. I mean, those guys are long and really good rebounders at both ends, but particularly on the offensive glass. And, you know, anytime you get an offensive rebound, usually those defenders are scrambled, and you're going to be able to get a high-quality shot.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Lamar Odom, he's checked in for Bynum. And Derek Fisher is subbed in for Steve Blake. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Mike Brown was saying to the team. It was more pep talk than strategy session. He told them, listen, this is crunch time. We practice this and play for this moment every single day. Don't be afraid to show some emotion out there, guys.
They now take the lead. I think Clark and Stevie can expect a dramatic end of this one.
Changes would have you thinking that would be the case.
Yeah, both teams really competing, neither side giving any ground. This should be a fun finish. I agree with you, Kev.
San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Blair. Duncan comes in for Splitter. Daniel Green, he's checked in for Richard Jefferson. And it's Ginobili in for Gary Neal. Kicks it to Gasol. Duncan on him. And there's the rejection. And here are the Spurs. They're on a 12-4 run.
And the shootout continues.
Trading buckets both ways. I mean, offense definitely the focal point for these teams.
Fires for three, and that one's good from Fisher.
He's one of the few guys you don't mind seeing take the three in transition.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're leading by one. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of this one, and some changes here for the Spurs. Antonio McDyess is checked in for Matt Bonner, and Gary Neal subbed in for Daniel Green. Kobe's checked in for the Lakers. Here's Ginobili. The rebound by Kobe Bryant. Kobe's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And I think whichever team starts to dominate the glass could really take control of this game.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, it's so tight between these teams right now on the board that you're just waiting to see which team might pull away. He only had 1 giveaway in the first half, but he's been much sloppier since the break, and the turnover totals have soared.
Boy, he's been good offensively tonight. I really like what I've seen.
On our test is checked in for Shannon Brown. .122 left to play here in the fourth. For three, Kobe, and it's good. Kobe's got 23.
6 points in short order. 2 straight from deep. That's what can happen with a 3-ball.
Yep, they got it going. Nice, clean looks. Only question there was who was going to finish it. Easy, fast break.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they made the right call there, Steve.
And another 3 for the Lakers.
The defense got butterflies the second that shot went up because they know he typically delivers in the clutch.
They get a hand on it. Picked up by Ginobili. Oh, and the jam by Kobe Bryant. Oh, we got a sec. Let's check out the Spark Slam cam.
Kobe has been sensational.
Good for the three-point play.
That and one has made it a 2-possession lead. That's why you can't foul and let them score the basket.
Parker dishes to Duncan. He feeds it to McDyess. Artest knocks it away. Here are the Lakers with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. They better get a move on. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable.
That's blocked. Here's Ginobili. Nails it. And he has brought them to within 2 points. Timeout called the Lakers. They're in front by 2. There's 25 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Kobe. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And they go to the intentional foul.
I know you have to foul, but you don't want to hit a good foul shooter like that.
Yeah, you'd much rather have somebody else get to the line than this guy. He's an excellent free throw shooter.
And they can't convert on the second. That misses. San Antonio with the ball. It's a 3-point game. Here's Parker. It falls! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Came through there with a key basket.
Yeah, that was huge. Stepping up when it matters most. Boy, he needs to show more patience with the ball. That steal was easy pickings on such a long pass.
Poked away! Now Fisher. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
Well, not much of a choice there. They pretty much had the foul.
Yeah, that's the only option they had to try to get the ball back to even this thing up.
And he doesn't get the first one to fall. Does make the second, and that'll put him up by 2. Here's Parker. It's off. Sinks the first of 3, and that narrows the gap to 1. Sinks number 2, and that ties this game up. Makes all 3, and that gives them the lead.
He came through. If they just get a stop, they'll walk away with the win.
Such a clutch steal. Exactly. What they needed in this situation.
And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Manu Ginobili.